Yeah, I heard the FDA approved the Pfizer vaccine, but I'm still not getting vaccinated. Because for me, I don't trust the government. I don't trust the FDA. I don't trust science. I don't trust facts. I don't trust my husband. I don't trust anybody.
So today, the Pfizer vaccine got full approval from the FDA. And there are people out here, the anti-vax loonies, who are now going to have to come up with another excuse for not getting vaccinated, because for a really long time they said, well, it's just emergency use authorization, even though over 300 million people in this country, well, I shouldn't say it that way, over 300 million shots have been administered to people in this country, which means about 60% of us are vaccinated, somewhere between 30 and 40% are not. And those anti-vaxxers are going to have to make up new excuses about why they're not getting the vaccine. Now, they're perfectly capable of doing this right off the top of their heads, because they can always fall back on, oh, that's right, I'm not capable of rational thought. I'm part of a death cult. I do whatever Donald Trump tells me, except when he tells me to get vaccinated and then I have to boo him. Did you see that? I don't know if you saw that. You see, I was not going to watch that, but of course, Howard was going to watch that. The super spreader event in Coleman, Alabama, that Donald Trump had in a state where they have no ICU beds. And I was just telling you on Friday that Mobile, Alabama, literally has no ambulance service. And he decided, well, I'll just go to Coleman, Alabama, and I'll have myself a super spreader rally. And at the super spreader rally, he got booed. He got booed by his own cult members because he's not radical enough for them anymore. This man, he's worse than Dr. Frankenstein. He created a monster that he cannot control. I mean, this is just unbelievable, to the point where, I don't know if you heard this part. Okay, first I want to show you what happened, because, I was watching the big Central Park Welcome Back New York thing, and I was just, sitting there thinking how old I am, because I still know the words to Mama Gonna Knock You Out and Tricky, 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 okay? It's tricky. And LL Cool J was up there, and he was doing that, and I was going, wow, I can't believe, and after he finished, they announced that was, oh my God, 50 years of rap in one performance. Because they did a rap medley, and it was like Grandmaster Flash. I mean, it was, and they said that's 50 years of rap, and I was like, oh my freaking God. Oh God. Oh my God. Okay. And then all of a sudden, Barry Manilow, who is like, I don't know, 105, came out and, started singing a medley of Mandy and Copacabana. And I was like, okay, this is painful. I cannot watch this. And so this is where Howard stepped in and said, isn't Trump doing a rally? Now, I knew that, but I tried not to bring it up because I was so damn depressed about 50 years of rap to begin with, and then seeing Barry Manilow. Okay, and so he said, well, I know it's somewhere, and he went on to the YouTube and started watching it. And I actually caught a few minutes of it, and this part of it was the most freaky part.
Take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But no, that's okay. That's all right. You got your freedoms.
You got your freedoms.
But I happen to take the vaccine. If it doesn't work, you'll be the first to know. Okay?
You got your freedoms. He had to reassure that they got their freedoms is what they had. But I took the vaccine. Now, you had right-wing media denying that he took it. Literally, I was playing clips of that last week of lunatic right-wing fringy people saying, well, we don't even know if he took it. I mean, he probably didn't. No, he did. He had COVID, and he took the vaccine, and he had monoclonal antibody treatments, and he made sure his children got the vaccine, and everybody around him got the vaccine. And now he's telling Alabama to get the vaccine, and they booed him. They literally booed him. You know why, everybody? You know why? In the South, they think they have the right to ruin everyone else's life. They do. They think that they have the right to ruin your life. They don't, but they think they do. And they are so distrustful of every single health professional in this country because they believe the sick and twisted thing they watch, which they think is media. They think it's news. It isn't. It's crazy. It's like a bad reality TV show, okay, with a bad script going in, garbage out, to the point where in the South, they are literally going to feed stores to get Ivermectin, which Fox News, Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, and the like told them would cure COVID. Back to the hydroxychloroquine hazy days of yesteryear. It's like going to be 50 years of vaccine excuses. It's going to be 50 years of fake cures for COVID. So the same people who are refusing vaccines because they weren't fully FDA approved are now going to have to admit that they're not taking the vaccine, not because it's not fully FDA approved, because as of today, it is. They're going to have to admit that they can't engage in rational thought because instead of taking the vaccine, they are going to feed stores and they are taking medicine that's designed for half a ton horses, 1,000-pound horses, for deworming. That's what ivermectin is. It's a dewormer for horses, for livestock, for cows. And they had to put out a warning to people because poison control in Mississippi this weekend, like 85% of all the calls to poison control in Mississippi were for ivermectin poisoning. I swear to God, on the Sunday shows, our Surgeon General was asked to comment on this.
Health officials in Mississippi say that poison control center calls are climbing because what they're seeing are residents taking something called ivermectin, which is an anti-parasite drugs for horses and cows to treat coronavirus. This has even led to one hospitalization. Can you be clear for the American people on this drug?
Well, Brianna, that is heartbreaking to hear. And let me just say very clearly that ivermectin is not a recommended treatment for COVID-19. It is not a recommended drug to prevent COVID-19. The best protection we have against COVID-19 is the vaccine. And
can you believe this? Okay, so you know what? You know what they're going to say. You know what they're going to do. They'll call up Brett. They won't go on the air. We'll put them on hold and it's like, oh, talk to Randy, tell Randy, and then they'll hang up. But they're going to say, name me a worm that ever got COVID. You know that, right? You know that. Animal dewormer for livestock. What do you get? Chemotherapy at Walmart? I mean, what is wrong with people? Do you go and get, like blood transfusions in PetSmart? Are you insane? Is there something like really? I mean, it's bad enough that public health officials now have to tell people not to take horse medicine, but it's because they don't trust public health officials. They trust Tucker Carlson. They trust OAN. They trust Newsmax to prescribe for them. Oh my God. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.